Bitcoin falling this morning amid broader fears of another high-profile bankruptcy, this time at crypto bank Silvergate.
Yes, Bitcoin slides 5% in less than an hour amid Silvergate uncertainty. And this is really just the first piece of the puzzle, because most of us have heard by now shares in Silvergate fell 50% on Thursday after the crypto-friendly lender said it's evaluating its ability to continue as a going concern and delayed filing its annual report with the Securities and Exchange Commission. For a 60-second summation on Silvergate.
It's a real bank. It's based in California. It's actually been in operation since 1996, but you probably know it because it's known as the crypto bank. It was servicing clients such as Coinbase, such as Gemini, such as FTX, which is a big reason why you have shares down over 50% today alone. That's because yesterday, Silvergate said that it needed more time to file its 10K form because basically it needs more time to really assess the damage to its finances after last year's crypto blow up. And a big reason why it needs more time is because it needs to figure out whether it's still viable as a business at all, whether it can stay up and running. So that brings us to today. You have Silvergate saying that it's working diligently to file that 10K as soon as possible, but clearly traders aren't waiting around.
And the client list that was banking with Silvergate is wild. Even Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy took out loans to buy Bitcoin. So now with this solvency uncertainty, what now happens to the clients?
All right, as with any of these stories, David, we're wondering about collateral damage. How does this impact other crypto companies?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, generally, when you think about a bank, especially one that caters to crypto exchanges, for market makers and for exchanges, there's going to be less liquidity available less quickly. But that being said, several crypto firms have quickly come out to distance themselves from Silvergate, including Coinbase, Paxos, Galaxy Digital, UK headquartered exchange, Bitstamp, Gemini, Crypto.com, and Circle. And none have confessed to have material exposure to Silvergate, meaning that this is somewhat of an isolated situation, at least as of now, from what these companies are saying. They've all said that they've made this decision out of an abundance of caution. MicroStrategy, which is also the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin on its balance sheet, said that it did borrow loans from Silvergate, which are due in 2025, and those loans will not be accelerated even if Silvergate goes insolvent. So for now, for the time being, from the people we have heard from, it sounds like it's relatively isolated. That being said, Binance US and Kraken have both decided not to comment.
So if the worst should happen, if a bankruptcy with Silvergate occurs, which is looking more and more likely, that will generally mean less liquidity in the system and more sell pressure, just like FTX, just like Celsius, more sell pressure for the crypto market. Now, the only companies that haven't issued a statement about this yet at the time of recording is Kraken and Binance US. The minute I get an update, I will make a video. I will keep you updated. But as of this morning, the market's not waiting. Bitcoin long liquidations hit their highest level since August, meaning centralized exchanges liquidated bullish long futures worth over $62 million during the early Asian hours. So if longs are being liquidated, that means people that were projecting bullish price momentum, people were betting that the price of Bitcoin would go higher, they got liquidated, suppressing the Bitcoin price lower. The dominance of long liquidations shows the leverage was skewed to the bullish side, meaning most traders were positioned for a price rally. And this is a major reason we saw the Bitcoin price go lower in the short term. With Ethereum, something bigger is happening. Major Ethereum conference, ETH Denver, is happening right now, and the footage, the theatrics coming out of ETH Denver is wild. Okay guys, we have reasoning behind markets. It wasn't Silvergate. It wasn't a long squeeze. Someone at ETH Denver saw this, and then market dumped.
Cops after me. Searching for liquidity. Gotta exit now, but anyway, we don't talk about crypto. No, no, no. We don't talk about crypto. Grew to live in fear of the dumping and the rugging, looking for a coin that will certainly be mooning, gaping into Ponzi's and other scams. It's tough to be full-time degening, looking at JPEGs when I should be nouning, grappling with a protocol I do not understand. Do you have weak hands?
A token millionaire with zero
This is why I buy Ethereum, for the culture. And something even bigger, let me share with you the official opening ceremony at ETH Denver. But before this, jokes aside, ETH developers push back the Shanghai upgrade to early April. And while the testnet is still happening this month, core developers set their date for the Go Early testnet deployment on March 14th. The mainnet, as well as the staked Ethereum withdrawals, will have to wait until April. So what does this mean to you? It just means that investors with staked Ethereum will have to wait a little longer to withdraw. I am waiting, I am watching, and I am wishing that I was here right now at the opening ceremonies of ETH Denver yesterday.
Run by these toxic dudes.
It goes, not your keys, not your coins. When will we ever learn? Never. So take heed of the one and only, the call of the buffer coin. For Talbot rides on a magical.
Now, of course, that's in Denver. If you want to join us in LA later this month, come out to Outer Edge LA and use Altcoin Daily VIP. Use code Altcoin Daily VIP for 10% off your tickets. Hedera making moves. Hedera onboards top Coinbase official to drive growth. HBAR price poised for a bull run. Now, let's be very real about this news. I want to address this in a second. But the big onboard, Brian Brooks, former Coinbase exec, as well as former acting U.S. comptroller of the currency, joins Hedera board to drive growth. And Brian Brooks is so well respected in this space. I think this is a huge get for Hedera.
One of the things that makes crypto risky is that consumers may not understand the difference between one token and another token. And so they may want to diversify, much as I own an S&P 500 mutual fund. We don't allow that in the United States. We do allow it in Canada. We allow it in Germany, Singapore, Portugal, and a number of other places. So if you're a developer of those products, there's no fuzzy line. It's super clear. You can't do that here. So you have to go abroad. Okay? There are some other places.
Can you say why we can't do that here?
Sure. It's because the Securities and Exchange Commission has consistently refused to approve products that other G20 nations have approved.
So we're behind the curve?
Unquestionably.
And while I do see this being bullish for the protocol in the long run, this channel will always keep it real with you. Over 3 billion HBAR tokens set to unlock, massive Hedera price drop ahead. So Hedera is set to witness a token unlock of 6.28% of its supply. And when will this happen? Well, it already has. On March 1st of this year, they unlocked. Now, obviously, that does not mean that all this is going to be sold, but it now means that all those early investors that had a vesting period now have the option. So some bearish technicals, yet some bullish fundamentals. I like it. And like always, see you tomorrow.